Welcome back. With us right now from the Council on Aging, Southern California, is Kelly Morris. And Kelly, I couldn't fit your whole title underneath your name, so I'm going to say it. I did fit in Director of the Senior Protection Program, but also Financial Abuse Specialist Team, also known as FAST.
Yes.
Right? That
correct.
Probably couldn't fit. That was a little too long to fit under your name. But tell us in general about the program and about FAST.
So FAST is dedicated to helping seniors identify and avoid financial abuse. We go out into the community, we do a lot of education and outreach. And then our FAST team helps Adult Protective Services as well as the Ombudsman. We meet once a month and they bring complicated cases of financial abuse to the FAST team. And we come up with ideas on how they can move their case forward. FAST is a group of volunteers who are professionals and who work with many organizations as well as individual professions, meaning they don't work for a county agency or any kind of federal agency, but that includes local law enforcement, the FBI, Public Guardian's Office, and of course Adult Protective Services, the Ombudsman. We have fiduciaries, we have elder law attorneys, we have real estate agents, we have title specialists, brokers, just a vast array of people who come forward to help Adult Protective Services and the Ombudsman. And
of course, we're focusing today on this time of the year. There's scams throughout the year.
Correct.
But primarily, we're talking about the holiday type scams and what can happen, right?
That's right.
So on the first slide that we're going to look at today, and there's all kinds of different ones. We're going to look at gift card scams, and tell us about this one. Nowadays you go to the stores. There's racks and racks and racks of gift cards. You just go up there, they scan them for the amount that it says on the card, and you're good to go. And you're good to go,
or at least you think you're good to go. So the trick is that thieves will go into stores and they'll open the little binding thing that, how all of the gift cards are hung, right? Yeah. So there's a little binder that they hang from, and they'll pull that down and they'll scratch off the PIN number on the back. So it's kind of like a scratcher, like when you play the lottery. Yeah. So on the back of every gift card, there's a little scratch place, right? And that hides the PIN number. And you're not supposed to expose that until you purchase the card, and then you can scratch it off when you actually are the person who receives the card and you're going to activate the card, right? So what happens is thieves will go into these stores and they'll scratch off the PIN number. So they'll take the card number, the PIN number, they know what the amount is, and they'll just keep checking the website to see if the card's been activated yet, or they can actually call the number, the customer service number on the back of the gift card. Once the card is activated, they'll go and they'll get rid of all of the money before you have a chance to use it. So again, you can activate your card, think that you have a $50 gift card, and you go to use it and they'll say, sorry, there's nothing on this card. Well, someone has actually already used that card because they had all the information they needed to use your card, even though they didn't have the actual card in their possession. So the best thing to do is to look at the back of a card, make sure that the PIN number is still covered by the silver kind of coating. And you can also, to be safe, if you really don't want to mess with that and you don't want to inspect your cards, you don't want to take the chance, you can always go in and get a gift card where they actually load the amount there at the register, meaning nobody knows how much it's worth, and without that information you can't really activate the card. So if you want to get a Target gift card, you don't have to get one that's preloaded. You can ask them and they'll say how much. You can tell them at the cash register how much you'd like to put on the card, and they'll do that for you at the register.
Okay, very good to know. And one of the things also is make sure you buy it directly from the retailer or their website.
Right, so if you don't want to buy it, like you said, on the rack where they have Outback Steakhouse, right? In Target, you can get an Outback Steakhouse gift card. You could actually go to Outback Steakhouse and purchase one at Outback Steakhouse.
Yeah, so that's a very good idea. And in many cases nowadays, you can gift cards online, meaning you can go to Outback Steakhouse and say, please send this to my nephew,
That's
or
correct.
give them their information, so they
That's
have
right.
it right away.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, other ones are fake charities, and we should all be leery of this, especially this time of the year. And quite often, you have people sitting outside of Target or whatever, asking for
In the
money
malls,
for whatever.
outside of the grocery stores.
Yeah, and who knows, that they may be 100% legitimate.
They may be.
You know, I don't give them money because, for all I know, they may be legitimate, but the person doing that might be taking some of that for their lunch money or something.
That's correct.
That's my feeling on it.
Right, and again, if you're going to give to the Salvation Army person dressed as Santa ringing the bell outside of the grocery store, you have to understand that that may not be legitimate. Anyone could fake Salvation Army sign and get a bucket and stand outside of a grocery store. However, you know, giving is about making you feel good, so if you don't care about where that money goes and you're just in the spirit of giving,
That's true.
then you can give and walk away. And you know, most
Yeah,
important,
if you give $1 or $2.
right? Yeah, but if you're going to give big money, if there's something, you know, this time of year is particularly a good time for people who have fake charities to go out and take money from us, because we're in the giving spirit. Those of us who are still working and need tax write-offs, this is the time of year to make that big donation for a tax write-off. And, you know, every one of us has some kind of charity that pulls at our heartstrings, whether it's, you know, vets, or whether it's, you know, children or cats and dogs, whatever pulls on your heartstrings. You know, you're going to see those people all over the place. There's something for everybody, toys for tots. You don't know if that's a legitimate charity or not. And so it's important to do your research. If you give to a particular charity, it's best to give the way that you normally give, and that's directly to the charity. This time of year, there's going to be a lot of people going door to door. Right? This is an easy way for people to get money.
Don't do that. Don't
right.
do that.
So if you do that, if it looks legitimate, you can always check, right? You can call the company, say, just a minute, let me go and call and see if they have canvassers in my area today. Or you can write the check to the name of the organization rather than the person. It makes it really difficult for them to cash a check if it's not made out to them personally. And right now in California, we have to remember that we also have this fire damage going on.
And they've already reported on the news. There's a lot of those scams.
So, you know, this is, I mean, thieves are good at what they do, but they're not necessarily creative or inventive. They'll just kind of put a new spin on the same old, you know, scam. So be careful about people going door to door and asking you for money for these fire relief funds. Again, you should check on those. One easy way to do it is to get on the internet, and they have a couple of sites that you can go to. The easiest one to remember is, I believe, the give.org.
Okay.
So just give.org. And if you go there, you can look at a charity, see if it's legitimate.
Oh, that's a good idea.
And another thing that you can watch for, if you're getting solicitations by mail, because you'll get those in droves around this time of the year, be sure and look for misspelling of words. Look for things that say like national something or other rather than American something or other. If you know that the organization is named American, now suddenly you get a solicitation and it says national and you don't really recognize that. These are always clues, the misspelling of words, the change of the name of the organization. Just be very vigilant and careful, especially if you're giving big dollar donations.
Okay, so stick to what you know.
Stick to what you know. That's
the other
right.
one is the package scams, and we probably have less of a problem of the front porch poachers, if I can say that.
Right.
But it is a real problem. We've had it happen to us several years ago, and somebody caught it on their webcam outside, and it was actually a couple teenage kids that were doing it, and they were more joyriding than anything else.
Right.
But they were caught, but that's what was happening.
And remember, this time of year, thieves are going to be particularly good.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to do their homework. They're going to figure out how to look legitimate. So nowadays we have Amazon.
Yeah.
And Amazon has independent drivers. So they're not driving around in a car that says Amazon delivery guy. And so those guys will probably be able to figure out how to get past even security at a place like Laguna Woods.
Yeah.
And of course, you guys have a great security team, so they'll catch on to that, but only if you report it.
Right.
So the thing to remember is, keep an eye out, not just on your own porch, but for your neighbors. If you know that your neighbors are gone and they're traveling, or if they have an activity that they do on a regular basis, so they have a very regular schedule, these are the things that thieves will catch on to. They'll look for those places where they see people leaving at the same time every day, coming home at the same time every day. They'll follow delivery trucks to see where they're going.
Yeah.
And again, they could easily say, I'm an Amazon driver and I'm here to pick up, and again, they'll get clever. They'll actually take a package and carry it to someone's porch and drop it off as if they're delivering. Actually, it's an empty box, and then they'll pick up other packages that are there that actually have goodies in them and take them away. So what you can do is you can always make sure that if something's being delivered to your house during the holidays, that a signature is required for delivery. And that way they don't just leave it on your porch. And places like Amazon, even UPS, will have lock boxes where you can actually go and pick it up.
Yeah, they will.
So they'll leave you a key, and then you can go and get your package, or you have to call in, and they'll give you a PIN number, and you can call in, and they'll tell you where to go pick up your package. So if you've purchased something that's of particularly large value, probably best not to have it left on your porch.
That's true.
Yep.
Next one is counterfeit retail websites, and we certainly hear about these. And along with this, what I want to say too, because I get these, in fact I just got one, it's
you're eligible.
Yeah, in an email, you're eligible for an Amazon gift card, and you look at it and you know right away, but
but you think
you can tell by the way it's written out and things like that, and some of them are somewhat legitimate, meaning they are a national company, they're real, and it's more about getting some of your information, not for nefarious purposes, but they reward you by, okay, can you give us some information? We're going to send you gift card information. But still, then you got thousands of emails coming in, right?
Right. And it's not just emails. You'll get letters saying, call us and you're eligible to get a $100 gift card for $25.
Right.
We just need some information from you. And really, that's how they sucker you in at this time of year, because that, like you said, it seems legitimate.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so you just want my demographic information, meaning they're probably going to take your information about your gender, your age, what kind of purchases you've made in the last year, and then they're going to share that information with other people, and they make money off of that.
Yeah.
So this is a legitimate use of your information. But there are going to be those people who want your information for the purpose of identity theft.
Yes.
And this is what happens with these fake retail websites.
Yeah.
So they'll tell you to click on here and you can get this, and it'll take you to a website that looks legitimate, but ultimately you're not at a legitimate website. And what they do is, a lot of times the minute you click onto that link and get to that website, then they download malware onto your computer. So now they can spy on what you're doing. They can capture your passwords when you go to like your banking websites or your credit card websites. So now they've got you in their grips. Another thing that they might do is, when you click on the link, you might actually purchase something.
Yeah.
And you may get a package in the mail, but I guarantee it's not the quality that you thought you were purchasing. So it may be someplace where you could go buy something and you may even get a package, but you're probably not going to get what you think, especially if it looks like it's too good to be true, right? The old adage, if it looks too good to be true, it probably is. So again, we have to really use our common sense this time of year when we start seeing these great bargains. Does that sound too good to be true?
Yeah.
Probably is.
All right, finally, there is a number that people can report to the Federal Trade Commission for fraud.
That's right. The Federal Trade Commission, unfortunately, the one thing I want to make clear here is, if you've become a victim of a scam, it's unlikely that you're going to get your money back.
Right.
Unless it's just a huge national scandal and there's one company who's the perpetrator. Those people get caught, of course, because they can only do that for so long before you get enough victims and there's a large enough money loss that law enforcement or the FBI is interested in the case. But me, poor Kelly, if I lose my $50, nobody's really interested in that. But the good news is, if you report these things to the Federal Trade Commission, they do gather this information. They share it with all agencies across the United States, and a lot of times they're able to catch what they call rings, right? So they'll have scammers And the group may have 5 different things that they're trying to pull off. So they may be doing, the fake gift cards. They may be doing the fake retail websites. They may have a very large array of things that they do. And everyone in the group has a different specialty. And eventually they'll catch this ring. They'll catch one who will then identify the other people in the ring. So it's worthwhile because although it may not help you immediately, it certainly might help someone else from becoming a victim of fraud. And another thing that you want to do, other than actually reporting it to authorities, is to talk about it with your neighbors.
Yeah, so they know.
This is the thing that we don't do. We talk about it, kind of, clandestinely, as if it's something to be ashamed of. But it's not. These are things we want to share with people. Remember that these thieves are good at what they do. They're as good as you and I are at the things that we do as a profession, right? This is what they practice every day. It's what they do. They're really good. So there's no shame in being, conned or scammed by one of these fraudsters. They're professionals. So the best thing you can do is share that information and help someone else from becoming a victim.
All right. Well, we shared here.
Yes, we did.
Yes. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And I know we'll see you back here again sometime in the future talking about other scams, unfortunately, or the many services of the Council.
Right, and maybe we'll even have some updates about, the Federal Trade Commission
activities. Because we could go on
and
on, really, all the different things that happen year-round. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Again, Council on Aging, Southern California, very easy, coasc.org. And you can get all kinds of information there for many, many different things. They do a great service, and we thank all of them for coming on and helping this community out and helping Southern California out in general, right?
All right. Thank you very much.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
We'll be right back.